Every day, we come across countless people, consciously or otherwise. Several we recognize, some we identify, many go unnoticed. But in this whole jigsaw of knowns and unknowns, had all these people not been blessed by their very own distinct features, an individual would have even lost his own recognition. Recognition, after all, requires identity, and our names, our surnames and family names inclusive. Still, possibilities are that many may still be bearing a similar name. The final seal of identification hence rests on our respective dates of birth. Each year, more than 140 million children are born worldwide, pushing the present number of 2.2 billion existing children to swell even further. Of these, some 1.9 billion children inhabit the poor and developing countries, and among them,
more than 640 million live without adequate shelter. Another 400 million have no access to safe drinking water. 270 million don't have any health facility. Some 121 million will never see a classroom in their lifetime.
And what is more, many will never be counted, as their coming to the world will never be recorded and registered. Birth registration is regarded as the first right of every child, mentioned in Article 7 of the UN Convention on Rights of the Child. It's essential because birth registration is the only process by which children's existence is recorded in the civil registers, enabling them to have access to social services such as education and healthcare, proof of age, protecting them against child labor and child marriage, a national identity, making it easier to defend them against harassment, abuse, and trafficking. Above all, it provides the first official and visible evidence of a state's legal recognition of a child as a member of society. It, however, has long failed to win the government's priority in the developing world, and Pakistan is no exception. Lack of awareness and motivation on part of concerned parents, influence of social taboos based on ignorance on part of society, and dearth of organizational capacity on part of the respective government agencies has marred the process severely. As a consequence, the overall birth registration in Pakistan has been falling between 10 to 30%, while in certain remote areas of the country, it has even been found at 0%. Plan, with its worldwide field experience of 68 countries, as a child-centered international community development organization, is today being recognized as a major player in enabling authorities in the country to attain universal birth registration in Pakistan.
Based on the performance of the pilot project, the government of NWFP showed its keen interest in extending it to the rest of the districts in the province. Then we also tried to get into other provinces, that is Sindh, Balochistan and Punjab. In Sindh, we are working in 2 districts, and in Balochistan, we are working in 4 districts. In Punjab, we are supporting NADRA in awareness raising about birth registration, where they have initiated a computerized civil registration management system. It was a very, very challenging situation when we started the project. 160 million people, out of which around 50% are children who were not registered. Majority of them were not registered. So the scale was enormous.
What is even more significant is the geographical span of the program. It was, after all, encompassing almost half of the entire country. On one hand were the snow-clad mountains of the Hindu Kush and the Karakoram, while on the other were the blazing deserts of Balochistan and Sindh. In between, there are numerous plains and valleys, where people are famous for their cultural and ethnic diversities. Some of them live in areas turbulent in terms of law and order. To sum up, it was surely not easy to cut through the physical, psychological, and administrative barriers. With a financial outlay of about $2 million, the program is currently in full swing in 30 districts of the 3 provinces in Pakistan, targeting 23 million people to raise birth registrations of the newborns to 70% by December 2007. The program's approach is clear and simple: to establish a viable and functional system and to raise awareness amongst parents, relevant government officials, elected representatives, and the civil society. The birth registration takes place at the Union Council, the basic local government institution, usually understaffed, with no stationery, proper forms, and registers. Plan addressed this deficiency by providing specially printed registers, forms, and other required stationery. Workshops were also held in all the districts to train and prepare more than 3,400 government functionaries, enabling them to undertake the task effectively and efficiently.
ट्रेनिंग के बाद हमें पता चला कि सब कुछ यूनियन काउंसिल के लिए, बच्चों के लिए या यहाँ के पब्लिक के लिए जो फ़ायदा इसमें पुनहान है वो किसी भी चीज़ में नहीं है। यह हमने सबसे पहले ट्रेनिंग में हासिल किया।
हुकूमत 18 सालन ताईं जी उम्र वारनि सभिनी छोकरनि ऐं छोकिरियुनि जे नालनि जी दाख़िला खे ज़रूरी करार ॾिनो आहे।
Sensitizing the society was of utmost priority, and for the purpose, a well-coordinated mass media campaign was launched. Based on print and electronic media advertisements, the campaign focused on creating awareness about the importance and benefits of birth registration.
I think it was a very, very professional campaign. The messages reached to the target audience that were selected for the campaign, and they were understood by the audience very well.
The role of local government institutions in this regard was of critical importance. The elected representatives have a direct access to the masses and certainly hold their own influence.
लोगों के जो हकूक़ हैं वो इसी के थ्रू मिलेंगे। जब उसकी रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं होगी तो उनको क्या समझा जाएगा?
Another salient feature of the whole exercise remains its cost-effective nature. The program, in all areas where it's in operation, is being managed through the existing government infrastructure, and no extra amount has been spent on establishing any separate offices. Least number of plan workers were engaged, and the lead role has been assigned to the already employed state functionaries. In this way, the project is being managed with less human resources and better implementation arrangements.
I've seen most of the non-profit organizations working in our province, but the cost effectiveness of this project is very nominal, and they are working devotedly.
The government of NWFP was so supportive of the whole scheme that it declared the year 2006 as the year of birth registration and announced a free registration and certification of all the children in the province under the age of 18.
When we started it in 2001, it was a bare 4% registration. Now, the last 1 year, we've gone up to 32%. So we've gone up to a 1.2 million registration of the under 1 year. So once we've achieved this target, as we have, of 32%, in the coming couple of years, we'll be able to go up to full 100%.
And the hopes are not mere hopes. A sea change in the mindset has already occurred.
We had several meetings of all the stakeholders. Then we have involved the provincial government. We have declared or notified the year 2007 as birth registration year. Plus we have notified the district steering committees, plus the provincial steering committee. And in doing so, I think we'll be moving in the proper direction for achieving our goals.
Using proportionately much less money, Plan's UBR Pakistan project has achieved 20% of the total global success.
If we look overall in the national perspective, I should support the respective provincial governments and Plan International to take forward this message, because we have to cover birth registration of children universally.
Plan set out on its first global advocacy campaign for birth registration in 2005. I think we have been successful here in Pakistan, not only in influencing policy, but also in terms of what we have been doing on the ground. I would also like to mention that this could never ever have been possible without the good collaborative work that has been done together with NADRA and with the provincial governments.
Plan's UBR project is now at its threshold and is ready for expansion, where about 40 million children are still to be registered in Pakistan. There are, after all, still many, many miles to go.